I like the subject matter. It's good company, I guess. I've never done well with abstract art. I sort of think maybe I'm not deep about that, but yeah, they're good company. They're fun, and they just keep me interested. And then you have sort of a framework to go with. You know that, 2 legs, 2 arms, 2 hands, a head. And then, of course, within that framework, then it's somewhere you can start with and then mess it up if necessary. But it's always a guideline. I kind of like that they're nude and bald, so you don't have a lot of those little indications of where they're from and what they do and whether they know how to dress or not. The dogs are naked. So I don't know. Oh, of course they're Asian, but that's not necessarily. Of course, maybe that they're kind of happy about it. They don't seem particularly tense about it. Where I grew up, it was predominantly, the neighborhood was predominantly Asian. So I didn't grow up as a minority, and it only really came home when I went away to school. They look complicated, but these pieces are constructed separately. Again, on the pottery idea, you just make a forearm-shaped pot and attach it to an upper arm-shaped pot, and then palm-shaped, and then I stick on individual fingers. I like to have separate parts that come together so that you get those really nice intersections and collisions of parts and fun wrinkles and creases. Clay has a big contribution in that it's very, very plastic and it moves, and so you can sort of watch it go and then know when to stop or how to push it toward where you want, but I can never get it exactly. So commissions have always been hell for me when anyone has something really specific in mind. I usually just say, it's going to be somewhere in that area, but I can only get so close because a great deal of the fun of it for me is that it is a collaborative effort, that I can only work with clay and sort of encourage it into these shapes, but I can't, short of pounding it into a mold, I don't see how I can really make it exact. Plus that would just really not use the medium to its fullest. I can't remember when I started to draw. My whole family, my father's an engineer. He used to just bring us home old blueprint paper. Everybody would just draw on them until they were covered. And then in kindergarten, I got to use clay and just found it a hell of a lot more satisfying than paper. I don't know, that it's, it involves a lot more. I just like to grab it and make stuff rather than depict it abstractly, two-dimensionally. I just wanted to get the 3D object. And ever since, I took classes after school. I majored, it was my elective in school, then it was my college major and my master's degree. And after a long and circuitous route, it's now my job. So my sister and I bought a house together and cut a big hole in the roof, and so I can go out there at 2 in the morning and work, which is a great time except for the mosquitoes. It's my most productive time. I can get up in the morning first thing, go out, work, come in, lunch, go out, work, dinner, watch some TV, go out, work, go to sleep, get up, do it again. That was the schedule for this show. This show, I think, I experimented a little more with some of the colors. I made some standing figures, which I hadn't done in quite a while, and combined with the dogs, which are just, very, very complicated stands, props almost. But then they took on lives of their own. So there's always something. I also started sanding recently, which I hadn't been doing before. I might get sick of that and stop it. It's just some fat, naked guy, Asian art is not only Buddhist art.
Did you start with something in mind when you made him, or did you just
Well, yeah, he was. I have vague sketches, but then, as you work, I stretch it and yank it around, and then you can drop a piece on the floor or something. Things will collapse or sag a little bit. You're always getting suggestions along the way, and you can follow them or not. So that came out very different from its sketch. you know, I got close again, but no, not quite. It's never a dull moment. There's always something. It's such a huge field. It's such a mutable medium, and there's so many people, you know, rampaging around in it. There's always something new to pick up and experiment with. And I figure I'm going to live long too. But I think it'll keep me occupied. Plus, there's nothing else I really can do to this level. And I think everybody has to have something they do well.